I want to tell you a story about a young man named Leo. Leo lived in a small village, surrounded by towering mountains. And for as long as he could remember, he'd looked up at them with a sense of awe, dreaming of reaching their peaks, of seeing the world from above. But there was one thing that held him back: fear. You see, Leo believed that the mountain was too high, too steep, and too dangerous. He often thought to himself, maybe I'm not meant for something like this. And so, he stayed in his comfort zone, never daring to take that first step. After all, what if he failed? What if the climb was too much? One day, while sitting by the edge of the village, lost in his thoughts, an old woman came up to him. She had lived in the village longer than anyone could remember, and she was known for her wisdom. "Why do you sit here, young one?" she asked, her voice gentle but knowing. Leo hesitated. Then, with a sigh, he said, "I want to climb that mountain. But I'm scared. What if I can't make it? What if I fail?" The old woman smiled, but there was a glimmer in her eyes that spoke of years of seeing both failure and triumph. She said softly, "It's not the mountain that you should fear, but the mountain within. You see, the true challenge isn't the mountain itself, but the doubts you carry with you. The fears, the beliefs that tell you you're not enough. The mountain outside is just a reflection of what lies inside." Leo was puzzled. The mountain within. "What do you mean?" The woman looked at him thoughtfully, then continued, "Everyone who climbs a mountain faces a choice. They can either let fear hold them back, or they can find the courage to move forward, step by step. It's not about reaching the summit, it's about overcoming the obstacles inside you. If you can do that, the summit is within your reach." That night, Leo couldn't sleep. The old woman's words echoed in his mind. Maybe, just maybe, the only thing standing in his way was himself. Maybe the fears he had were the real mountain, not the one towering over the village. The next morning, Leo made a decision. He was going to climb the mountain no matter how hard it would be. He packed only the essentials: water, food, and most importantly, his determination. The climb wasn't easy. The path was steep, the wind was fierce, and every part of him wanted to turn back. But then he remembered what the old woman had said. "It's not the mountain that's stopping you. It's your own doubt, your fear of the unknown." And so, he took one step, then another. Each step was a battle against his own limitations. He stumbled, he faltered, but he never stopped. Days passed and Leo faced rainstorms, freezing cold and exhaustion. Yet, with each challenge, he grew stronger. With each struggle, he learned something new about himself. He realized that the discomfort was part of the journey, and the key to moving forward was to keep going. And then, as Leo reached the final stretch of the climb, he was so tired, so ready to give up. But in that moment, something shifted within him. He realized that the hardest part of the journey wasn't the path, it was the fear he had carried for so long. It was the belief that he wasn't capable. And now, standing at the top of the mountain, he understood the truth. The mountain outside had always been a reflection of the mountain within. The real victory wasn't about standing on top of the world, it was about overcoming the doubts and fears that had held him back for so long. So, Leo stood there, looking out over the world below. It was beautiful, yes, but what took his breath away wasn't the view. It was the realization that, by conquering his own fears, he had already reached the highest peak. And in that moment, Leo knew no challenge in life would ever be too big again. The lesson was clear: the only limits are the ones we place on ourselves. And just like Leo, you can start today. Take that first step.